Today I want to share with you how I made this bowl over here without a lathe. I use a router bit called bird's mouth, and this creates this bird's mouth joinery, which is so much stronger than just a miter joint. And it makes it really easy to make bowls like this. This one, it's a 12-sided one. If you're not familiar with bird's mouth router bits, they make a 6-side, 12-side, 8-side, and 16 sides. This is the 12-side one. And I just think it ended up beautiful. I used cherry and paduk for the wood, and that's what I'm going to show you today, how I made this step by step. It's really not that hard at all, and I'm hoping this will inspire you to make your own bowls. So let's get right into it. Now for this project, I'll be using this board of cherry. I did mill this board to exactly a 1/2 inch thickness. It's 3 inches wide and about 34 inches long. We will not need all of it. We will only use about 20 inches from it. And then for a contrasting color, I decided to go with paduk. These 2 pieces of paduk, they are 1/2 inch thick, 2 inches wide, and 16 inches long. And the reason why I have 2 of them is because I didn't have a long enough board for the project, so I'll be using 2 of these pieces. When I buy my paduk, I usually buy it on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description below. It comes in a box like this, and there are 10 boards over there. And the reason why I like to buy them from Amazon is because they're perfect for cutting boards. They're already pre-surfaced all 4 sides, so pretty much you just have to glue them together. So that's where I buy my paduk. So 2 boards of paduk, 1 of cherry. Now at the router table, I'll be running the paduk pieces through the router table, and I'll be using a bird's mouth router bit, and I'll be putting that profile on each side of the board. So I'll be running each board twice, one on one side, one the other. I will be using the 6 and 12-sided bit. If you're not familiar with bird's mouth router bits, they come on a 6-side, 8 sides, and 16 sides. The 8-side and 16-side, you can only do 8 and 16 sides, where the 6-sided router bit, it also makes a 12-side, shape. You just have to set it up a little bit differently. So I already have mine set up for the 12 sides, and I'm just going to run this through it. Now, after you run your pieces through the router bit, you will notice that you will have some of this fuzziness on the edges. So what I need to do now is take a sanding sponge and just kind of, gently clean my edges, make sure that everything is nice and clean so the joint goes well together. That's what I'll be doing next. Now, when it comes to my cherry piece, I'm going to cut it on my table saw into 3-inch pieces. And then I'm going to take it to the miter saw and taper each side of it. That way my bowl is going to be smaller diameter at the base and larger at the top. So it's going to be tapered. And you could make these cuts straight on the miter saw. I just prefer to make mine on the table saw because I think it's a little bit more accurate. So that's what we're going to do next. Now here's the way I'll be doing my tapers. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing this, but this is the way I usually do it. I have a stop block that I will be clamping over here. I will change my angle here. We'll do a 6-degree taper. So I'll set up my saw at 6 degrees. So this is my stop block, and then I'll be using, let's see, another piece of wood over here. And then here is my little 3 inches by 3 inches squares. Here is where you need to pay attention to the direction of the grain. because I know that my Paduk pieces is going to run the grain up and down like vertically. Then I want to make sure that I do my tapers this way so my grain will still stay vertically on these pieces as well. So I'm going to set up my piece like this. I'm going to put a stop block. And when I don't know if this picks up on camera. Let me get you a little bit closer. All right, I hope you can see this. So when I'll have this stop block, I'll have this piece of wood over here, and you will see why I have this one in a second. And then I'll set up my piece of wood, and what I'm looking for in here, you see my shadow where my blade is going to cut. I wanted to start right in the corner over there. So I need to move this just a smidge, like a 1/2 millimeter. Let's see, that is going to give me a perfect cut. Maybe I'll move it back just 1/2 millimeter. There you go. So now I will clamp this one over here. Make sure it's really clamped and it won't budge. All right, let's double check this. And that is going to be perfect. So first I'll take every single piece and cut 1 6-degree corner, and then I'll show you how I will do the other side. So now all 6 pieces are tapered exactly on one side. Now we need to taper the other side. To taper the other side, what I did is I took another piece of scrap wood and I cut the same 6-degree angle onto one side. So now I'll replace this straight piece with a piece like this. And now my side that is already tapered, it's going to fit perfectly into the 6 degrees that is in my scrap piece, and that way it's going to keep it straight, and we'll cut it just pretty much like the first one. I need to adjust my stop block, move it over. Let's see, just 1 more millimeter or so. Let's see, like that. And I think that is going to be perfect. I'm gonna give it just, oops, that's too much. Let's see now, that is good. Now that we have our cherry cut and tapers just like that, we have 6 pieces. Now it's time to cut our Paduk into 6 pieces as well. I still have the table saw sled set up with the stop block for the 3 inches. So now I will be cutting these guys into 3 inches pieces. And the 3 inches is what's going to be the height. So if you want a taller bowl, then go for 5 inches, 6 inches, whatever you want. So 3 inches, we need 6 pieces. That's what I'll be doing next. And now it's time for the glue up. If you're not familiar with BIRDSMOUTH joinery, so remember the piece we did on the routed table, and then this one we did not route it, we just cut it into tapers. And now my straight piece is going to fit into this routed piece, and it's going to create a joint like this. So you see we get like flush seams and everything just matches perfectly. So I am going to glue it up, see if we can get the bowl out of it. Now for the glue up, I'll be using blue masking tape, and I'll be using tight bound 3 because this is a fruit bowl, so I might put lemons in it or who knows what. And tight bound 3, it's food grade and it's water resistant, so that's what I will be using. And then I'll be using these wet wipes to clean the glue squeeze out and to wipe my hands when needed. So let's see what else. To apply the glue, I'll be using one of these acid brushes, and this guys works really great for getting into the nook and crannies of these small pieces. You can buy this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. I think it's $17 for like 140 of them. You just use them and throw it out. So let's see. Oh, before we put the glue, let's put our tape on the pieces, see what we get. Let's see if we cut everything correctly, or, you know, we have to scrap this whole video and figure something else. So let's see. Maybe give these guys a little bit of a sand on the edges. All right. And now let's see how this goes together. Make sure your bottom meets up perfectly, because otherwise you will not have a flat bowl on the table. So I think that's too small. Let's see. Get a little bit larger piece. Something like this. I will attach it to the paduk and then make sure my bottom meets perfectly. And there you go. We'll move it to the next piece. When I pull it over the paduk, I'm pulling on it just a little bit, creating some tension, because this is going to be our clamping. We're not going to use any other clamps. So we want to make sure this is really sticking. One paduk, one cherry, not maple. Did I say maple? Sometimes I'm blabbing and I don't know what I'm saying. All right. Like that. All right, let's flip it over and see if we can form a bowl. All right, well, this is not glued yet, it's just taped, but I want you to see at all the joints how nicely they come together. I hope you can see this. So now we have to, well, remove one of the tapes and put the glue in. All right, everything is looking really good. Now we just have to let it dry, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I'll deal with the bottom part. A few hours later, and our bowl, it's dry. I still have to sand it and remove all the glue squeeze out. But what we need to do now is we need to add a rabbet at the bottom. And I have, I glued up 2 pieces of cherry that's still the 1/2 inch thick. And this is going to be the bottom. But first I will rabbet the bottom, so this will just sit inside, so you don't really see it, only from the top. And for this, I'll be using this rabbeting bit. And this is the one I use. And this thing, the rabbeting bit, is going to cut 1/4 inch into our 1/2 inch material, and then it's going to go 1/2 inch up. So I'm gonna go really slow because we are removing a lot of material. Of course, I forgot to push the record button again. Seems like this is happening more often than I would like. But we have the rabbet, it looks like this. So now what I will do is I will take my bottom, the piece of cherry, and I'll put it on the table. Let me angle you so you can see this. And then I would be using a pencil, and I will be tracing the inside of my bowl like this. And then I'll go to the bandsaw and I will cut it out. I'll cut it out a little bit oversized, and then I will finesse it onto with sanding. All right. So I have traced the inside of my bowl, and now I'm gonna cut it on the bandsaw, and I will also sand down all the glue squeeze out and make sure that the bottom fits right there into that rabbet. I cut the bottom piece on the bandsaw and I glued it in place. As you can see, this is what we're looking like. And I did sand the bowl on the inside and outside, and with the 220 I rounded the edges just a little bit so it feels nicer to the touch. So this is our bowl so far. Now it's time to finish it. For the finish, since I'm going to have maybe lemons in it, or I don't know what kind of fruit, I have to use something that is food safe. So normally I would use mineral oil. That's what I use for the cutting boards. But today I'm going to try something else. I'm going to use this Addis oil. I'll put the link in the description below. And this one, it's kind of like a hard wax oil, similar to Osmo and Rubio Monocoat. The only difference is that this is waterproof and food safe. So we should be safe to put it in our bowl. If you're looking for something cheaper, this thing is pretty expensive, but another cheaper alternative would be a General Finishes salad bowl. And that one is food safe finish as well. I'm going to apply this finish with this little white pad, and let's go do that now. A little bit goes a long way, and it's completely natural. You do not need to use gloves for this finish. And just like that, our bowl is finished. I think it looks amazing. Look at that. Every joint meets out perfectly. We have no gaps. The finish is beautiful. It gives it a nice, rich, warm tone. And I hope you will get inspired and make your own bowls. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skylar Ewing. I'll see you in my next video.